Breaking news as we come on the air tonight. 4 people found dead in 2 separate homes in Butler Township. We have team coverage tonight. Jenna Cisneros is in Butler Township with information on this still developing story. Jenna.
It's been quite the emotional, chaotic scene for much of the afternoon here in Butler Township. Again, police confirming 4 victims are dead and a person of interest still on the run. Butler Township Police Chief John Porter says police are looking for this man, 39-year-old Stephen Marlowe. A look here at the scene, you can see 2 homes taped off. Police say they arrived here just before noon to multiple crime scenes. Police are still working to determine a motive and seeing if mental illness played a role. Again, police are looking for Stephen Marlowe, and Chief Porter believes Marlowe is likely armed and dangerous.
We are seeking a person of interest, Stephen Marlowe, a white male, 39 years of age. Marlowe is approximately 5'11", 160 pounds, has short brown hair, and was last seen wearing shorts and a yellow t-shirt.
Police say Marlowe left in this white Ford with an Ohio license plate JES 9806. Again, that license plate JES 9806. Again, if you do see Stephen Marlowe, he is believed to be armed and dangerous. Police are urging you to call 911. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Jenna. Now, the victims in this tragedy still have not been identified, but this tragedy is leaving the tight-knit Butler Township community heartbroken. Allison Walker has been live at that scene all day. She spoke with neighbors about how they're all holding up. Allison.
Megan, I spoke with several neighbors here today, and all of them were in complete shock and disbelief that this unthinkable tragedy happened here. One neighbor who didn't want to go on camera says he was close friends with one of the families impacted. And he tells me that they had just spoken on the phone just shortly before it all occurred.
See all these people in and out of with black totes and more cop cars coming, and you have Montgomery County compound coming in, and it's like, this is a quiet neighborhood, younger, older, retired, new families.
This is what neighbor Wendy Chapman saw when she came home around 12:30 today. Chapman lives next door to one of the residences impacted. Yet other neighbors who were home all day tell me they never heard any gunshots.
Come to find out later, here comes family, here come friends. A couple of the younger girls just dropped to their knees. They're screaming, crying. What the hell's going on? So end up finding out a little bit later that there's a couple people that are dead. And it was like, wait, what?
Chapman tells me while she wasn't too close to the family, she says they were incredibly friendly and had a kind teen daughter. Chapman moved to the area a few years ago from a rural area, wanting to be in a close community setting, and never expected 4 neighbors would be shot and killed. She says she's sick to her stomach and is now reeling with questions.
I could not even imagine why, to the point where even in a crappy neighborhood or a ritzy neighborhood, there's no reason for any of this. But, you know, maybe it's because this is a little more personal. It's right next door to me, but I'm pissed.
This kind of stuff is kind of disturbing to me in this neighborhood.
I met Fred Nelson as he was watching the scene. Nelson lives nearby and rides his bike through the neighborhood often. Now he and others in the community worry no neighborhood is immune from violence.
I know that it happens other places, but we don't have it this much here, so it's kind of shocking, really, to me. I mean, all these neighborhoods are pretty close-knit.
And police are asking the public to send the families impacted your prayers. And they're also asking for the public's help in locating this person of interest who they say fled the scene. Reporting live here in Butler Township, Allison Walker, Dayton 24, 7 Now News.
Allison, thanks so much. Now, again, we want you to take a look because this is the man Butler Township Police are naming as a person of interest tonight. He is Stephen Marlowe. We got this picture from Butler Township Police's Facebook page. Marlowe is 39 years old, 5'11" and 160 pounds with short brown hair, as you heard the chief say earlier. Marlowe was last seen wearing shorts and a yellow t-shirt. He was said to have left the scene in this white 2007 Ford Edge SUV. You see it right there on the right side of your screen. The Ohio license plate number on that SUV is JES 9806. If you see Marlo or this SUV, you're asked to call 911 immediately. However, police say do not approach. Investigators tell us Marlo is likely to be armed and obviously dangerous. If you have any information on this ongoing investigation at all, you're urged to call dispatch at 937-233-2080. And we have all of this information for you up right now on our website. That is Dayton247now.com. You can find this story right there on our homepage. And we're going to continue to bring you updates as soon as we learn anything new. You can find them on our Dayton 24/7 Now app. You can scan this QR code up on your screen right now by your phone. That code is going to take you right to your phone's app store where you can download it for free. Well, Kentucky is still dealing with disaster and there's more rain on the way. The state is concerned about the potential for more flooding and damage tonight, even into tomorrow morning. It's now been 8 days since the catastrophic flooding all started. 37 people are confirmed dead and 2 people are still missing at this hour. Thousands have lost their homes and thousands more are without power or water.
I have to tell you that it's devastating. These are some of the most rural communities within Kentucky, and individuals are going to have a long time in their road to recovery.
We've learned President Biden and the First Lady will be in eastern Kentucky Monday to tour the flood damage and meet with families impacted by the devastation. That's contingent on the president, though, testing negative for COVID. Members of a tri-state area fire department are back home tonight after spending nearly a week in eastern Kentucky helping with these flood rescue efforts. Courtney Wheaton spoke with the fire chief there about their experience.
Covington Battalion Chief Chris Alsip showing us some of the equipment his team of 19 took down to Jackson, one of the areas hit hard by the floods. Their mission was strictly search and rescue. During the 5 days, they worked 12-hour shifts alongside other first responders and were able to help the most vulnerable in need.
And once you go out there and you interact with people, you see exactly the emotion that's going on. You actively see, water flowing. You see where the water line was. When you're driving down the street and you see that the water line was 3 feet above your vehicle, it's a whole different perspective of how high that water actually was.
These type of missions are something the department trains for. They've responded to hurricanes and other natural disasters in the past, but the chief says it's never easy seeing families in so much pain. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Courtney. Well, it's turned out to be a pretty nice day here in the Miami Valley, but it may not stay that way throughout the weekend. Natalie, when could we see some rain?
A lot of the rainfall that we're expecting to see for the weekend and into the next several hours even is going to be fairly isolated, and that's what you could kind of see happened earlier into the day. We saw some showers, some cloud cover earlier into the afternoon, managed to clear out, but notice this strong thunderstorm over Auglaize County dumped down a bunch of rain in a short amount of time right over Wapakoneta. Now we have a small storm just south of Salina, and we'll continue with a stray shower or thunderstorm possible through the rest of the evening. It's very warm though, mid to upper 80s, 87 in Troy, a little cooler, rain-cooled spots in the 70s up in Auglaize County and into Shelby County. Sydney sitting at 76. But for tonight, dropping to around 70 with a few more storms around. We'll have the rest of the weekend's forecast coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Natalie. More than 3 years after the Memorial Day tornadoes, an abandoned building damaged in those storms has finally been demolished. The 5-unit Stillwater Lofts condominium in Harrison Township was declared a dangerous property with unsecured structural damage by the township, so they had to be torn down. It's taken a while, though, to figure out who actually owns the property and to gather money from the state, county, and Montgomery County Land Bank. Harrison Township has been working hard over the last 3 years to secure funding and coordinate resources to make it all possible.
They became more dangerous the last 6 months, I would say. The fire department was being called out, the sheriff was being called out, so we just felt it was time that we need to make it a priority to have it.
Gazi says this is the last major building to be demolished from the tornadoes. And the unemployment rate is back to pre-pandemic levels. That's according to July's jobs report, which was released just today. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports we're at 3.5%. That's down slightly from what we've seen the past 4 months at 3.6%. Now, July's jobs report also shows promise with more than 528,000 jobs added, mainly in leisure, hospitality, professional and business services, and also healthcare.
Almost 10 million jobs since I took office. That's the fastest job growth in history. Today, We also matched the lowest unemployment rate in America in the last 50 years, 3.5%. Yes, 3.5%. Today, there are more people working in America than before the pandemic began. In fact, there are more people working in America than any point in American history.
The president also signing 2 bipartisan bills today aimed at cracking down on pandemic relief fraud. Those bills will give federal and local prosecutors more time to hold people accountable for cheating the system. They'll extend the statute of limitations to 10 years to investigate potential crimes. President Biden says too much of the funding passed by Congress to help businesses stay afloat ended up in the hands of people who didn't need it or criminals who stole it.
American people deserve to know that their tax dollars are being spent as intended. My message to those cheats out there is this: you can't hide. We're going to find you. We're going to make you pay back what you stole and hold you accountable under the law.
Now, President Biden mentioned in his State of the Union address that he appointed a special prosecutor to oversee fraudulent COVID relief claims. The Pandemic Response Accountability Committee pores over data, then sends out the Fraud Task Force to investigate potential cases. The CDC is tracking a new COVID-19 strain of concern tonight. It's called BA4.6, and it's one of several highly transmissible Omicron subvariants. It's been circulating for several weeks in the U.S., accounting for now 4% of cases at the end of July.
I expect in the days and weeks ahead, we're going to continue seeing cases rise. Over time, we want to see that slowing. Over time, we want to make sure that that is starting to turn. But right now, I think a lot of it is being driven by testing as well as increases in infection.
The CDC is still reporting 117,000 new COVID infections in the U.S. daily. And a live look now in Tip City, where Tippecanoe Market Days have returned. The market is held on the first Friday of each month through September. You can enjoy the local music scene, try a new food truck, and pick up local fresh fruits, vegetables, meats, and much more. It's put on by the Downtown Tip City Partnership and wants to connect the community with local produce. Tensions between the U.S. and China heightening tonight. China's latest moves after House Speaker Pelosi went through with her visit to Taiwan despite warnings. And a virus thought to be eradicated has been confirmed back in the U.S. tonight. What health experts are stressing is more critical than ever.
Plus, tracking a few more thunderstorms for this weekend, how much longer you'll need that umbrella for coming up. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A lightning strike in D.C. turned deadly on Thursday. Here are some lightning facts and safety tips.
When you hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck. You'll want to seek shelter inside immediately. Stay inside until at least 30 minutes after the last sound of thunder. Stay away from windows and doors as they can produce side flashes, and stay off computers, cord phones, and avoid taking a shower during the storm.
Follow the National Weather Desk on your favorite social media platform.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi continuing her trip in Asia today. She's now in Japan meeting with the country's prime minister this morning. This is her 5th stop on her official Asia trip after her visit to the island of Taiwan, which has garnered some backlash. The island stop was very controversial as China claims Taiwan is part of its own territory and has threatened to take it by force. China has said that it would respond militarily if Pelosi followed through with the visit. Now, Pelosi and other U.S. leaders now defending the decision.
China has chosen to overreact and use Speaker Pelosi's visit as a pretext to increase provocative military activity in and around the Taiwan Strait. We anticipated that China might take steps like this. In fact, we described this exact scenario. The fact is, the Speaker's visit was peaceful. There is no justification for this extreme, disproportionate, and escalatory military response.
They may try to keep Taiwan from visiting or participating in other places, but they will not isolate Taiwan by preventing us to travel there.
China began military drills near the island Thursday in response to that visit. And now China has sanctioned Pelosi and her family for her visit to Taiwan. In a statement, China said Pelosi's visit to the island undermined China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Chinese officials say they are also halting dialogue with the U.S. on climate change, military issues, and anti-drug work in retaliation for Pelosi's Taiwan visit.
Well, fairly quiet across the Miami Valley now after we did see a strong storm over Auglaize County. Now seeing a shower just south of Salina. Rest of us sitting pretty calm at this hour, and it's a very warm and muggy evening too. So plan on it being pretty sticky as you head outside this evening. Bigger picture here, you can see more moisture to our southwest, a lot of active weather just to our southeast too. We're going to monitor for a stray shower or thunderstorm really as we head into these next several days. So really just keep that umbrella handy. Keeping a look at tonight, we'll see things quieting down after sunset or so, dropping into the 70s. But even by early tomorrow morning, can't rule out a shower or two. And then by tomorrow afternoon, once we get some of that heat of the day, we will start to see a few more showers, thunderstorms firing up by later into the day. Highs in the mid to upper 80s and another round possible on Sunday as well.
All right, thanks so much, Natalie. The Republican National Convention has officially agreed on a place to hold its 2024 convention. It's going to be in Milwaukee. It came down to Nashville and Milwaukee as the RNC's 2 finalist cities.
I'm so pleased to share in a moment of bipartisanship because not just in Wisconsin, but in America, we need more of that. We need more of that, and I think that's something that all of us can agree to.
Milwaukee is a strategic location for Republicans located in swing state Wisconsin, which went red for Trump in 2016 and then blue in 2020 for President Biden, both times, though, by narrow margins. A live look at the CDC's monkeypox tracker now. The U.S. has now topped 7,500 confirmed cases tonight. Ohio's cases have now grown to 45. But monkeypox isn't the only concern in the healthcare world. Now experts in New York are stressing just how critical it is to be up to date on your vaccines. That's because the polio virus has been confirmed near New York City. It's been found in wastewater samples in 2 counties near the Big Apple. An unvaccinated adult is said to be positive for the virus and is suffering from paralysis. This is the first known case in the U.S. in nearly a decade. There's no cure, but it's preventable through the vaccine. The state health commissioner says for every case of polio with a patient paralyzed, there could be hundreds of other people who are infected. Now, the U.S. is also experiencing a severe flu season. Australia is experiencing its worst in 5 years now, and health officials say that's a sign of what's to come for the U.S. The CDC says it's possible the season could start early. Flu shots to protect against 2 strains of influenza A and 2 strains of influenza B are right now being prepared. Everyone is urged to get a flu shot this year.
Well, tracking showers and thunderstorms through this upcoming weekend, let's go ahead and take a look at that weekend forecast. So for our Saturday, I think that's the better chance for thunderstorms for us. Isolated shower to a storm pretty much all day long. So keep that umbrella handy. There will be some sunshine. We managed to warm up in the mid 80s, but if you're going to be out and about for tomorrow, just keep in mind that we could see a shower or storm pop up. Now Sunday looking a little bit better. We're going to start out in the 70s with some sunshine. It does get hot back up into the 90s by the afternoon, and into the afternoon and evening hours for the day on Sunday is when we also start to see some of those storms begin to fire up. Now we have a cold front that arrives Monday into Tuesday, so notice how it actually drops our high temperatures back into the lower 80s for Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's with some slightly lower humidity. I'll have a look at that 7-day coming up.
All right, thanks, Natalie. And if you're looking for a flavor explosion, you may want to look to the north. Still ahead, all the tastes you can try at the Troy Popcorn Store. You're watching Dayton 24/7 News. A locally owned gourmet popcorn store is popping off. Tej Joshi, host of Good Day Dayton, takes us up to Troy to get a taste.
Popping off in downtown Troy is a locally owned gourmet popcorn place. You can see they have so many amazing flavors. They've got savory ones, sweet ones, some classic ones, and some really, really unique ones. The Buckeye flavor, that's their top seller, and there's some really, really interesting ones I want to show you. I mean, a Naughty and Nice, a Snickerdoodle, wings and beer. Have you seen popcorn like this before? They make all this popcorn in-house. They pop it themselves, they flavor it themselves, and it's time for me to try one. I'm a jalapeno cheddar man, always into the spice when I can be. Let me take a little bit right here. That's really, there's a little bit of a kick to it. I guess I shouldn't be surprised it has jalapeno on the name, but delicious, delicious local popcorn. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks so much, Tej. Ohio's tax-free weekend is now underway, and parents, it's a great time to save some money on most everything you need for back to school. The sales tax holiday weekend officially started at midnight and runs until Sunday at 11:59 p.m. This comes just in time right before students are set to head back to school. So if you're planning to shop, make sure you know what qualifies and what doesn't, so you're not surprised. This weekend, you won't have to pay sales tax on a clothing item, $75 or less, a school supply item, $20 or less, or an item of school instructional material priced at $20 or less. Again, the tax-free weekend runs through Sunday at midnight. So if you still need back-to-school stuff, now is definitely the time to shop.
Yeah, so back to school shopping, anything you have planned for this weekend, just make sure you have that umbrella handy. If you need to mow the lawn, get that done over the weekend. There will be some dry times. Just have to keep an eye out on radar. Here's a look at what we're tracking with our mowing forecast. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, there will be times that we can get out, especially start of the day on Monday. It is going to be pretty warm, pretty muggy. And then Monday night into Tuesday, that's when we really see our rain chances begin to increase, as we do have a cold front that will begin to push its way through. So you can see that here in our extended forecast, where I do think we're going to be fairly quiet on Sunday. It's not until the evening that we start to see those storm chances pick up. We have upper 80s on Monday, Tuesday, as we head later into the day. And then taking a
and then tour of the studio on the
lower
way.
80s as we head into next week. So it does get a little bit better, feeling a little bit more comfortable by late next week.
Well, that's a good thing. Unfortunately, it sounds like we're going to need that umbrella on and off throughout.
Yeah, until Tuesday at least, you'll be needing to keep that handy.
All right. Thanks so much, Natalie. Thanks for being with us tonight. We are headed over to Fox 45 right now. Be sure to join us there. You can also find us on all social media, as well as Dayton247now.com. We're going to have more continuing coverage of the breaking news happening out of Butler Township.